Hello, this is a Lighthouse Hall of Film. We're in the European server with Sebastian otachka again, this time in his VK 1602 Leopard. It's Prokhorovka Standard Mode South spawn. One arty apiece, they have two lights, and he has just himself as a scout. A lot of heavies at the top of the lineup. He has 3 extra TDs on his team, but there's a lot of slow and fairly immobile tanks out there in the battle. So this is going to probably be a slugfest, a brawl on an open field where whoever scouts the best is going to be able to take his team on to victory. Now he likes to go over to the E1 bush, and that's where he's headed now. This is going to be another good study on what do you do when you don't get to do what you want to do at the start of a battle. I already recorded this once and I messed it up, so I'm re-recording it, so I already know what happens in the battle. Unlike most times where I narrate it without having seen it before. He likes to come in high, and you'll find that most scouts that come over here to E1 prefer to get up along the top border and come in high. Number one, because of this, if you get spotted, you get to get momentum quickly and get out of the enemy line of sight. Both a PZ3 and a Hellcat are up there. And now you can see another tank in the back, the T-150 up on the far edge. So he's getting concealment, and he's going to move back up and see if he can come in again. Go ahead and wait here for a second. There's the 150. He has a lot of tanks over here behind him.
Target acquired. Target released.
Except for the initial failure to get to E1, this is really what you want to see as a scout over here. Is wow, look at all the support I have behind me. This is awesome. Let's hope they can shoot straight. Now my experience on this map is if I try to passive spot over here and I have this many tanks behind me, they're all from like the Helen Keller school from the blind, and none of them can hit anything, but you still enjoy seeing this many tanks behind you. He's taking shots. He gets seen again as he tries to move up. So he's tried plan A, he's tried plan B, now he goes to plan C. Not CEE, like the letter C, no. Plan SEE, like despite you denying me my spotting locations, I am still going to find some place where I can see you. Plan C. Here goes the Hellcat. He dumps on him. He has all those tanks behind him shooting him. The Chihi's gone. Hellcat's gone. So their initial line of defense is wiped out. Now we know the PZ3 was over there somewhere. So he's going to pull back up into these bushes. And now it becomes a matter of doing a little variation of bush hopping up the west side, basically up the edge of Camper Road. There's the 150 back there. He'd moved up a little bit, but now he's out in the open. He should die pretty fast. And notice again that he's calling in fire. You find one target if you can, and don't try to push on and find 3 or 4 or 5 targets. No, one target's what you want. All 7 of those tanks behind him have one target to shoot at. So you're forcing focus fire out of your team. If you want to shoot, there's the one target you get to shoot at. Oops, he disappeared. And there he's back. And there's a 3001. Now sometimes you just see more than one target. There's nothing you can do about that. But when you are spotting and you're pulling forward, bush hopping, you find one target, don't keep going. Unless you're threatened by something, stay where you're at. Let that target get killed. Then pull forward. If you find 1 or 2 targets at a time, all those tanks behind you focus fire because it's the only option they have, and you blow your enemy team away in rapid fashion. Now he's just going to run the bushes. There's the PZ3 and there's the Churchill. Shouldn't be any more tanks over here, I don't think. He's going to run past the Churchill and look farther down. While they take out the Churchill, he's going to go on and try to clear the rest of the map over here. If nobody's here, he'll probably try to back in behind the Churchill and get some shots on him. He sees the Leopard far across the field. Bam, arty strike. 3601's moving over to the west. Don't know why. I guess he thinks he can solo all these guys. I think he's going to find out that probably wasn't a good idea. The enemy team has that a little backwards right now. The heavy's out front spotting for the scout. Not really the ideal employment of your weaponry there. Now it's on to the leopard. He's hiding behind a rock, hoping nobody comes and kills him. He has the 5 centimeter, it looks like, based on how he's firing. In close, 3 centimeters better than the 5 centimeter. At distance, the other leopard would win, but he's allowed Sebastian to move in close to him, so he really doesn't have a prayer right now. Four tanks to go. There's the the Chinu's just sitting up there, letting himself get shot. Like, he apparently lost the will to fight and live, and he's just like, okay, I'll take a shot and then sit here so everybody can shoot me. Again, as much as you can learn from the featured driver and watching how he plays. Whoops, hey, surprise. Fortunately, he has a full clip and the 304 dies. But as much as you can learn from how the featured driver drives, you can also learn from how other people drive. A lot of times the enemy drivers, it's like, hey, here's a great example of what not to do. Don't sit out in the open at the very highest possible spot. Take a shot and then just sit there and don't move, because your life expectancy drops to about 1 or 2 seconds when you do that. BDR G1B, last tank left. And he doesn't get to get a shot off before he dies. For this battle, he ends up with 1,508 damage and 2 kills, 59 of 81 shooting at 73%, 2,963 spotting damage with 7 spots, 50,158 credits, 2,127 XP, survived the fight, and he got spotter, fire for effect, and bruiser mini medals. And that's something you need to keep in mind right there. Over the last week or so, we've seen multiple fights where the person who ended up in the Hall of Fame didn't get any battle hero medals, didn't get any epic medals, and he only got like 1 to 3 mini medals, which pretty much you're going to get on almost every fight anyway. You don't need to have a bunch of medals to get into the Hall of Fame. What you need to have is a solid performance. He got a good amount of damage and he got a good amount of spotting damage, above average for that tank in both, and those combined give him the XP that's required to get into the Hall of Fame. So in this case, he tried to go to E1, couldn't get there. He tried to get concealment back and then move up into the middle bushes, got denied again. He knew he was being spotted by tanks right in this area, so it becomes a matter of, well, I can't go down the one line and spot. Where can I go to light up the tanks that are seeing me? So he just started finding bushes along Camper Road that would let him pull forward far enough to he found the Hellcat and the medium, and they immediately got killed. And then he was able just to basically do a little bush hopping up Camper Road and expose the other tanks. With that many tanks behind him supporting him, it didn't take long for his team to totally overwhelm the west flank. All because Sebastian Otachka was willing to be flexible. I can't do plan B, I can't do plan A, I'm going to switch to plan C and spot the same area I wanted to spot from a different place. He couldn't do what he wanted to because the enemy was denying it, so he found all the way down to his third alternative. Stay flexible on the battlefield. If his third alternative wouldn't have worked, he probably would have gone to fourth, or he would have gone to another area and said, okay, let me just go find something else to do, because right now I can't do that. being willing to change your plan is what keeps you alive, and what keeps you alive helps you win battles for your team. From Prokhorovka Standard Mode South spawn, remaining flexible, dropping down to plan C, and he ended up seeing all the enemy. Happy hunting.